Hi, my name is Christine and I'm in New Mexico and I own a club called Wonderlands and I do these chatty up little videos because I don't know, we're in COVID and I need something to do during the day. So today we're talking about some signs on he's not a dominant, he's just an asshole basically. Oh my gosh, I see this. I'm on the Facebook DOMs and subs and a bunch of Facebook pages, private groups and stuff that talk about the lifestyle, BDSM, polyamorous, and swingers. So I'm constantly reading. People have all these great questions and it's interesting the answers the feedback that you get from the community on these Facebook pages. So if you're just getting into anything kink related, even swingers could use some of this. Polyamorous, all kinds of people can use it. But it's basically signs on somebody that's not real. They're faking, trying to be something else, like a dom. Okay? So I do a lot of BDSM stuff, so that's what I mainly pay attention to. So the number one way that you can tell if somebody is not actually a true dom is if they demand that you call them by their dominant handle, basically sir, master, things like that. Oh my god. If you have a guy that's demanding that you call him sir, first of all, no negotiations ever took place, and so subs don't automatically fall into this trap where they're emailing you or texting you or right away when you meet them at that coffee shop that they demand that you call. And I mean, even if it's playful, jokingly, like I've had people that have flirted with me and I'm like, no, that's not cool. You trying to flirt, but most of the time a real dom's not going to use that as a way to flirt with somebody. Just saying. So just remember that if you are submissive, you're submissive. You're not somebody else's submissive until you go through the process of whatever your process may be, but I'm hoping that it's negotiations with hard and soft limits and things like that. So definitely, if you haven't even begun to talk about those negotiations and stuff, the way that you address him is not sir, master, or anything like that until you go through those. So, guys, I'm sure a lot of women just love those dick pics, but you know what they say all over them? Asshole. No real dom, and I'm sure there's going to be a real dom out there somewhere that wants to argue with me, but I would say the consensus on average says that they do not start their initial contact with you with a dick pic. Why? Because it goes against violation of consent. So, if I'm consenting to put it out there, but I mean, it is a form of violation of consent. And I'm sure somebody's going to argue with me, but the consensus says that this is the way it is. So real doms, if you're doing this, you may want to rethink that when you're meeting your potential partner. Save that shit for after your negotiations. If he in some way sends you, without you asking, unsolicited instructions on how to please him or orders you to obey, I don't know where any dom would instantly start doing these things when they haven't even talked about making a list. You could be doing, if you do this, you can be doing all kinds of violations of consent. So because, okay, so let me explain this. So when you have violation of consent with a dick pic or a unsolicited list of instructions on how to or orders on how to obey, you never know if something that you order them to do on this list is against somebody's hard limit. That is why it's a violation, because of the fact that they may not may not want to see male genitalia. And so I'm also going to get this from the guy saying, well, what about the women? I will tell you time and time again, there's only one fandom that I ever met that I was just like very side-eyed on her process. And I think the consensus says that most femdoms do not do these kinds of things. Now, is that 100%? Absolutely not. But in my personal observation, it's a big, big no-no. And a lot of female femdoms feel the same way. Now, I've talked to a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people every day. I'm constantly IMing, messaging, instant messaging, kicking, Snapchatting people. I have had this discussion with many people, and the consensus of all those people, and also on all of these thousands of members of chat rooms that I'm also involved in, I'm a very busy girl. They all say that this is a huge problem. So guys, doms, stop. So if he ignores your hard limits, like I had somebody and I said, I'm not comfortable. We were having a discussion. It started out very casually, but we were having a discussion and I said, I'm not comfortable having this conversation with you, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. Now, he kind of harped. Worst thing to do with me is just try keeping and coming back, because I'm definitely not somebody that's going to back down. And I'll call you the biggest idiot. Anyways, basically, it came out to, I get a lot of interaction, people that don't know who I am. And they will send me messages and do this stuff. And I very vocally say I am not at all, any way, shape, form, a dom, but I'm not submissive. They just, guys, come on. So, ignores your hard limits. If you say to them, I'm not comfortable with this, that is ignoring your hard limits. You've already said it. They should say, okay, thank you, move on to another discussion. If they keep harping on about it or they come back around to it, that's ignoring what you've already stated that you're not comfortable with. If they disregard that, you need to walk away, okay? Not just walk, but fucking run, okay? Everything is about clear communication. Now, if you didn't communicate that was uncomfortable for them, they're not mind readers. But realistically, if a person, I guess I should just start saying person. If a person who identifies as some type of dominant, no matter what it is, they're going to not take you unless that is part of your dynamic and you've already negotiated this in. They're not going to do that. They should not. Okay. He disregards your safe word. I was in a relationship. Yeah. And did not listen. That can be very traumatic. If somebody says you red, yellow, green, if somebody says red and you call red and they just keep going, there's a problem. even yellow. I'm like, yeah, you have to have a safe word. And really, if you don't tell them, I've even gone as far as when somebody has said something to me and I know they're in the lifestyle, in like an email, I'm like, read. This basically means this conversation is stopping, you know? And they should be able to figure that out. God, this light behind me, stupid thing. If the person lies, I know everybody lies. I lie, I'm a liar. Everybody lies. White lies to save feelings, yes. But most dominants are going to be honest to a fault. We come into this, or dominant types, even a top. So I think you come into this thing when you decide to do, where you take over something that is so much bigger than you, because submission is so much bigger than a person. Why would you lie to that person? If this person is just willing to give you everything about themselves, why would you lie to them? Why? It's just, it's fucking stupid. And not only that, if you're lying to a person that you're trying to obtain their submission, why would you lie to them? They can't trust you. Even white lies. I mean, white lies. Now, granted, I'm not, but still, you just don't do that. Just be honest. Be honest. Be honest and transparent. Don't do that. He thinks more about his own pleasure than your own. That motherfucker be selfish. That's what he is. He's if you negotiated in your relationship, if you negotiated in your DS contract, which everybody should have, then that's one thing. But unless you vocally said that's what you like, but still, even if you say that's what I like, you shouldn't be treading on those waters anyways. Or they, he, she, whoever. They make you feel bad about yourself, unless it's part of it. But most of the time, a dom is there for a person's well-being, not only their sub well-being, but also their personal well-being in emotional and in life. You take on him, it's so much bigger than you. He separates you from your friends and family. This is narcissistic shit. Oh, it's my ex. He separates you from friends and family. Let's be honest with you. Some people are just bad for people, but if he's separating you from people, then yeah, definitely bad. And he tells you that you're not a real submissive because you have your own opinions. That's part of consent. Unless you negotiated it or whatever, everything, there's always a loophole for everything. If you negotiated into your contract, then there's a loophole. But come on, guys, this is about self-respect. All you submissives out there, even though you're submitted, even if you want to be humiliated or whatever, in the very beginning, the initial contact email, none of this should be in there. It should be respect. And even when you enter into a sub-dom relationship, a dom-sub relationship, there's gotta be some kind of respect there. And with honesty and trust and truth and transparency comes respect. So if you can't be honest, you can't be true, you can't be truthful, you can't be honorable, you can't be transparent, you're not being respectful, and it really just comes down to that. So just, those are your guidelines. You guys, be well, be good to yourselves and to each other, and just remember, you deserve every ounce of respect and everything else that comes with it. Thank you very much.